Unprecedented things are happening in the crypto space, specifically with the king asset, Bitcoin. Charting and technicals show that the asset has found its bottom, and the signals for the next price movements are up. But what about those fundamentals? You cannot forget about those. So are you ready for a dose of fun for the mental? Alright, because it's time for Chico Crypto. We have to talk about Bitcoin's most important fundamental to begin this episode, as things are not looking good on that front. The Bitcoin hash rate. It is collapsing, and it is collapsing fast. May 13th, the hash rate peaked at over 171 exahashes of power. As of yesterday, it was just above 65. In just a month and a half, hashing power has collapsed by over 61%. This is one of the most significant hash rate drops in the history of BTC, even outdoing the late 2018 collapse that happened over a longer time period, about 3 months. So what is the reason for this collapse? Everyone knows China is cracking down on Bitcoin mining, just as their own digital currency, the digital yuan, gets ready to launch. Industry analyst Kevin Zhang of Foundry Services, who has connections to the Chinese miners, spoke to some of them, and it's not good news according to him. Reality is setting in, and they estimate that more than 70% of the total mining capacity in China has gone offline over the past week, and that could increase to more than 90% in the coming weeks. Hurts, don't it? Yeah, it stings in the short term, but if this is really happening in the mid to long term, this is a great thing. China's dominance over BTC has been fading for some time. The dominance of Bitcoin mining from China has drastically declined over the past few years. China-based mining operations went from representing nearly 90% of the hash rate contribution in 2014 down to around 65% as of late June 2020. So if 90% of China's hash rate goes offline, that wouldn't even put them as a top contender for Bitcoin geographical mining dominance. They would be dominated by the US, Russia, Kazakhstan, and others. They are thrown right out of the Bitcoin conversation. So the question we need to answer is this real, or is this just a Chinese show? China doing its duty to fulfill a narrative? Well, Chico thinks this is part of a show. This chart is a little bit old, but it shows the contrast in hash rate declines between the two most dominant and popular proof-of-work coins that are mined, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin hash rate is down over 61%, while Ethereum's hash rate is only down by about 20% from its all-time highs. Yet analysts from the East, like trusted ones like Wolfie Zhao, who work for news outlets like The Block, are saying this Ethereum hash rate drop is due to the China crackdown. Well, does this make sense then? SOS Limited, a publicly traded mining operation out of China, in May announced they were scaling up their mining operations by adding over 6,000 mining rigs, both Ethereum and Bitcoin. Scaling up right before a ban announcement? Just bad timing? Well, SOS Limited just announced a move to the US for their Bitcoin mining operations, but in their PR article they say this: in response to developments in the laws and regulations pertaining to blockchain operations in China, SOS has begun shifting its Bitcoin mining operations to the US. The majority of SOS China operations, namely its insurance businesses, call centers, and Ethereum mining businesses, remain unaffected and fully operational. Bitcoin mining is affected, but Ethereum mining isn't. Wait, that does not make a lick of sense to me. Ethereum mining is also dominated by China. The number one pool, Ethermine, is European, controlling nearly 25%, but Spark Pool, F2 Pool, B Pool, Nano Pool, UU Pool, Babel Pool, and Zizou.top are known Chinese pools. Just based on them, that is nearly 50% of the Ethereum hash rate, and there are more Chinese pools. So China controls basically an equal amount of Ethereum mining as Bitcoin, yet Ether isn't collapsing like BTC. Why the difference? This was a mining crackdown on digital currencies, including Ethereum. And with EIP 1559 and the switch to proof of stake coming very soon, you would think Chinese Ethereum miners would be exiting faster than Bitcoin. But that's not the case. China and its miners are still gung-ho on Ethereum. Like I said, something does not make sense. My opinion that I have no basis for and just a little bit of speculative evidence, just my feelings basically. Chinese miners are not exiting China because they are being exiled by the government and it's their choice to leave, but they are being told to by the government. So China sets up shop internationally and has its power distributed throughout the world, including here in the US, not just concentrated in China. They really want to get their operations set up here in the US, and the little bit of evidence I have from this is from Kevin Zhang once again. July 19th, Zhang tweeted, "The hopium in Chengdu was real last night. Can't wait to see how this all shakes out over the course of the next 6 to 12 months. Hashtag Bitcoin mining." And then below they show an image which was captured at this Chengdu, China Bitcoin miner meeting or conference. It shows US states and their power prices, like they're getting ready to set up big shops. These Chinese operations are looking to expand, and the only way to do that and have the West embrace it is if they're being forced out by their controlling government, the CCP. The West loves to help those that are unfairly targeted by the CCP. The thing is, and it's my opinion, is the government is the one who put this plan forward. The CCP will always control companies and their operations that are created in China, and they just got a free ticket into the West. Remember, SOS, the Chinese mining company, it's moving to the West by partnering with an American firm. Well, it's not only them. BitMining, a Chinese mining operation, announced they were investing $25 million in a new mining facility in Texas. And there are so many more. And I can guarantee you that deals are being sealed right as I speak. China is infiltrating US data centers and their operations. And here's a smidgen more evidence that, in my opinion, proves this is not as bad as it seems. Yang Zou'er, the founder of Chinese BTC mining pool BTC.top, tweeted this last week. "We haven't seen a crazy peak yet at this bull run, rather a unprecedented rounding peak. Besides, the long position hasn't suffered a serious defeat. So even if we enter a bearish run, it would be a short to medium one. The market is likely to repeat a two-headed bull run as in 2013. Dang, Jiang, why are you so bullish? Well, he continues and talks of the Chinese crackdown. If China does not release new crackdown policy afterwards, the bottom of this round is estimated at 29K, down by 55%. If new major crackdown policy comes out before July 1st, the BTC might fall to 25K, then start a V-turn. Too many institutions, funds buy up the dip under 30K. After this wave, according to Chinese practice, we will not see any new crackdown policy for at least 2 weeks. Regardless, a bull or bear market, a reversal or a rebound in the future, there is likely a wave of rise at large scale. This Chinese Bitcoin miner Jiang doesn't seem worried whatsoever, and since his tweet last week, there hasn't been any new crackdown policy news released, and we're getting close to July 1st. And here is what's so interesting. Documenting Bitcoin posted a tweet and picture. They said China's $1 trillion mistake, Bitcoin miners being shipped away, with a picture of what looks like a farm being packed up and set up for shipping. Well, those miners are not new mining machines. Those are old as freak, like ancient old miners. They're actually Antminer V9s, which only produce a max hash rate of 4 terahashes per second. The standard for mining is the S19 right now, and it produces up to 95 terahashes with the Pro. Why would obsolete miners, which belong in the trash, be being shipped to other parts of the world? They wouldn't be. They would be going in the trash. And this picture is probably freaking old, unless this picture is just to fuel a narrative. And that isn't the only sus picture coming out of China. One of the original ones posted last Monday by a Molly on Twitter that went viral said, Bitcoin mining farm in Sichuan after the government ban. And it looks like an operation being dismantled. But it's not. Just zoom in a bit. That is a spool of new wire. That isn't a farm being taken down. It's most likely a data center being built. You don't have spools of new wire for a demolition. You have spools of new wire for construction. So, my opinion, this is just the China FUD of this cycle. Just like 2017 had its big China FUD regarding trading ICOs and the banning of the like. And everyone thought the markets were done. Well, it wasn't over. And after the 2017 China FUD, we went up one more time. We won't hear of any new crackdown policy from China. And BTC will continue to go up this time too. Cheers. I'll see you next time.